Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to put this tumbler in the laser. We just got it at Walmart and I want to customize it, so we are going to burn off this coating and get it down to the seal.
Alright, so here we are in LIghtburn. We've got the main part of the design here, and Aaron wants to add some extra stars to it.
So I found the stars that I liked on the internet and we saved them, and we'll just import them.
What we're doing here is we're making sure it's not on the original design, because once we trace it, it's hard to select only that, and you don't want to mess that up. So just go in here and we trace it. Since it's black and white, those settings work great. If those settings aren't perfect, play with them, get it to work.
We used different stars because I wanted some stars to be fully cut out, lasered out, and some just to be more of an outline, just to give some different looks to the stars. Some contrast to the stars.
Same process with this one. Import it, trace image, get that lined up where you want it, and hit OK. And that's the easiest way to trace anything. And then you can resize it and put it where you want it.
These were the two main stars I wanted, so I'm just gonna copy and paste and put them around where I want them.
Decided she wanted some more stars, so we found this sheet full of all kinds of different stars. And here's this process: just save as, or save image as, with black and whites. They don't have to be super high quality, but the higher quality the better always. So you always want to get larger pictures, higher quality. And in this one, she really only wants a couple of these, but if you trace the whole page, then you can just select what you want and get rid of the other ones.
Of course, you have to ungroup the objects first so that you can pick and choose the ones you want. So I'm just going to pull the two I want aside, and then we'll get rid of all the rest.
And once you ungroup, you've got a ton of different things. So pull the ones out you want, and then you can select everything and just delete it at once. It's much easier that way.
Much easier.
And with LIghtburn, every part of the image has to be within that square when you're trying to select them, or else it won't actually get the whole thing.
So I got a general idea of what I wanted to do here, and thought maybe we should measure the tumbler so that I had a space to work within. I'm just going to measure it now. I want to have a general idea of how big I can make my design. So if we keep it within 7.5 inches, and all the way around is in 12 inches. So we are just going to do 7 by 7 because that's just how I want my design.
Alright, so we are going with about 7 by 7, so 180 millimeters by 180 millimeters. So I'm going to actually grab the rectangle, make one real quick, unlock it, put in the exact dimensions I want, and then drop that square anywhere really. I'm just putting it over the majority of the design, and then letting Aaron adjust things now that we've got exactly our dimensions on what we're going to etch on the cut.
Now I'm just going to move things around to finish the design to make it exactly how I want it. like to look at the image along the way just to see how it's going to look when it's cut out. And with the box around it, it's showing us kind of the backwards.
Right.
It would cut out everything in the box and leave the stars, which is not what I want, but it still gives me a good idea of how it's going to look on the tumbler.
Yeah, and since we're actually burning away the black part on the tumbler,
Yeah,
this is actually a perfect view of what it's going to look like. But before we do the actual cut, we'll get rid of that box, and then it'll just burn correctly.
So now everything is highlighted, and we're going to rotate it because the tumbler is this sideways.
Right.
So we're turning it, and then the laser cuts backwards. Reverse.
Yeah, so we need to mirror the whole thing. And then here are our settings that we're going to do. It's worked great on the Zippo, so we're going to go with the same ones. 900 millimeters a minute and 70% power. So now we're going to go out on the laser, get the tumbler set up and ready, and frame it. Don't forget to delete that box.
Obviously the tumbler is a little big for the rotary, so we're going to resize that to make it fit. I'll have Adam do that part because I don't want to break it. We're not going to use the back piece because the tumbler is too long, so we are going to weight it down, and we're just using one of our flaxseed bags. We'll just put that in there. So that just keeps it heavier and helps to keep it stable and not bouncing around. Now we are just going to lift up the laser with our blocks. Right. So we have just the 4 posts in this piece that fit right on in there. Pops right in place. And we'll just set the laser back down in there. We're good to go. We got the rotary in there. We're gonna hook up our wire for it, and we're gonna adjust the laser up. have tape on the bottom here because we moved this against the laser frame just to help it not move, and the tape's just there so that it didn't scratch. And it worked great. Now we are going to use the same method that we used for the Zippo. The LA's Totally Awesome that we found at the Dollar Tree, and a magic eraser. So we lasered this at 900 millimeters a minute at 70% power, and it's perfect. I love it. Join us next time for who knows what we're gonna do. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you then.